the legendary Black Box takes on giving back a double life sentence on a federal level. Y'all check the big homie out.
Keep myself grounded and knowledgeable about my surroundings and my people. And another thing about law, we have all law built on the Constitution. And I tell people that this system is very corrupt. And in the law, you look at the lady of justice, she got a blindfold on and she got a scale that's tilted. So you go into a courtroom where they tell you it's justice and the lady got a blind, that shows you that justice is blind or it was trained to see different. And when you, before you say anything, the scale is already tilted. It's not in your favor because your people didn't make the justice system that revolve around the justice that they want to give out. So until the Constitution is re-signed by the people that make up the geographic of America now, like for instance, Hispanic, they are a great percentage, Asians, and you got the original people of color. Anybody now that's on that I didn't name that's not in that lineup, they wouldn't be forgetting because these people have suffered so much. They're gonna make sure that everybody get the same type of relief because they know what they done went through. You know what I'm saying? So this justice system don't have a grounded foundation in equality. Everything is tore up to the fact that we don't see it like it's supposed to be seen in our eyes because it don't fit us. A lot of things don't fit us is because it wasn't supposed to because it's not for us.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Scott. Let me see this.
You go ahead.
Well, I want to ask both of y'all a question, right? What was your best moment in prison? Because there is some moments there do be some good times in prison. And what was your worst moment in prison? I already know your worst moment, but I want to ask you that question, though. Your best and your worst moment while incarcerated.
I didn't have a lot of, I had a lot of best, put it like that, as far as me learning and meeting different dudes, and dudes come in with knowledge and they come into the circle of the house. Like I met a dude on the way out, my last part, he was a preacher out of Alabama. I forgot what part. We called him Welch. And I was in Yazoo Low at the time. And
where's Yazoo?
Yazoo in Mississippi.
When you left Bennisville, you went to Yazoo, right?
I went to Yazoo and I met a dude named Welch. And he was a preacher out of Alabama. But when he came in the federal system, he's not a Christian anymore. He's a Yahweh. And he came in and he spoke on the things he learned by when he became a Yahweh, and he never learned. And he went to school. He was schooled on the street. He wasn't schooled in prison. He had to come to prison and learn what I learned. So he believed that he had been, you know what I'm saying? And his father-in-law, wife, daddy was a preacher also. So I learned a lot of stuff from Yahweh with him, you know what I mean? And he was a very inspiring dude. Now, bad moments I had got the life off me messing around with the law. I seen the Apprende case before I left Beaumont. And I used that Apprende case to show that I had been indicted for a dry conspiracy. No drugs, no guns, no nothing. But I was sentenced to a double life sentence based on all relevant conduct. A 2-point gun enhancement, 2 points for taking a stand and being a fugitive, the highest drug level you can get, and leadership role. So I fell off the page. You know, the guideline table, the tables only go to a level 38, the sentencing table. So me being on there seeing I'm a level 44, and they had me at a 46. I got 2 levels off in the argument at sentencing.
In what category?
For more than 2 but less than 4 for a leadership role. They took 2 levels off, so I went to 44. That's how I got the 30 years and 15 in Amendment 782. Those 2 levels took me to a 360. I done the whole 360 with good time. So my thing is, like I said, I did the Apprende case. This is a case where a white dude shot into some black people's house in New Jersey because he didn't want them staying in his neighborhood. He was drunk. I guess they told on him or something. He went to jail. When he went to jail, he took a plea. When he took a plea, they come back and sentence him for more time because using the information against him, like the feds used the information relevant conduct, they was going to give him 5 extra years. And he like, you can't give me no 5 extra years. Under the Constitution, which is due, he was right. The Constitution don't allow you to get time like that. Under the 5th Amendment, you get notice. Under the 6th Amendment, you charge with what you're supposed to be facing and stuff like that. So it's like you have to be aware of what you face So therefore, you know how to pursue your legal avenues. Apprende showed that he never got the notice, and he never pled guilty to it. So they overturned the Apprende case and they took the enhancement off because he was not charged. And they showed that if you're in the feds and you wasn't charged with a certain offense, that they could not give you time for it. So I showed them that I had been indicted on a drug conspiracy, and they forgot to put the statutes in the indictment. The statutes are B1C 0 to 20, B1B 5 to 40, or B1A 10 to life. And they gave me a life sentence based on relevant conduct, which they can't do it because the guidelines allows you to give as much relevant conduct you can. But if your statutory minimum is as a 5 years, I mean minimum is 0 and maximum is 20, you can't go over the 20. So my argument to the Supreme Court was that I shouldn't get over 20. They sent it back to 11th Circuit. They helped my case for 2 years. They sent me both life sentences in the mail when I come from work one day, and I look and I open it up and I get both life sentences back in the mail. I'm like, and they said that this is what you've done, and you think you was basically slick. You didn't file this issue on appeal. I couldn't. I had a lawyer. The lawyer should have knew about the issue. I shouldn't have been the one that alleged the issue in another brief after my appeal went in anyway. But my lawyer, I told him about it. He said maybe you can file that later in 2025. I couldn't explain that to the court, so he filed a brief anyway because the issue had been raised in the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court hadn't validated it because the case was not, it had not yet won yet. So now the case done won. I didn't use it, so the 11th Circuit said you went behind our back and added to the writ of certiorari. Pro se, I did. And once I done that, it was sent back. And once it got sent back, it was for further consideration in light of the case. The 11th Circuit held it and said, well, you know what? Basically, jurisdictionally, we don't have to look at this because it wasn't inside your initial brief. The initial brief meaning the first brief that you filed on your appeal. You had 7 issues in there, and that wasn't one. So looking at that alone, even though you went to the Supreme Court and there was an error and they seen the error, they sent it back. Had the Supreme Court granted the issue and gave you relief on that end, it would have been okay because we can't stop that. But we can stop this. And we're going to make sure you don't get it because it wasn't inside the appellate brief when you filed it in 99. So that's how they sent both licenses back in the mail. And it took me about 13 years to get it off after that. And I only got it because they came out with a new guideline for all 2-drug minors. And I fit it because I wasn't a career offender, and I had enough drugs for the 2 levels to move up under because I had beat the objections for most of the drugs on the case, and I bought it within range to with 2 levels that I would be able to fit the 2 levels. Not knowing years later, good thing I made the challenge because they did have me for more crack due to testimony, but they say since some people came together and that they overcounted, that I got it down about 5 or 6 keys, and that was enough when a new law came out. Damn near about 15, 16 years later, it dropped me to 30 years. Yeah.
And you get 25 off the 30.
Yeah, and some change.
30, motherfucker.